facendoci vivere un'esperienza davvero indimenticabile, e va a Finding Pandora X di Keira Benzing.
Finding Pandora X arose out of my goal to connect people in an embodied way through virtual reality.
The Venice International Film Festival represents the oldest film festival in the world. It was one of the first film festivals to show an interest in virtual reality.
VR and theater are natural bedfellows. I think VR ultimately will be the savior of the underappreciated art of live theater. There's one company that's been trying to figure it out for the better part of the last 10 years. That company is Double I Studios.
This show is highly interactive. It's like being in immersive theater where you get to play with the world and explore and discover. It's like going to an improv show where you get to generate an idea for the actors that they riff off of. It's like being in an escape room, and then it's something else. It's like this supernatural capability that you have to embody someone you're not. I love theater and I love VR and I love interactive storytelling. And taking these passions for me and mixing them together is just like chocolate and peanut butter. It's like, it just gets more exciting when they're together.
Finding Pandora X is an immersive and interactive VR theatrical piece where the audience plays the part of the Greek chorus. They are given a costume, which is a custom avatar, so they all look the same. Their mission is to help Zeus and Hera to recover the box of hope that has been passed down from generation to generation, Pandora after Pandora, until today. It's a 360 environment. Every single object, every narrative design piece has to fit in and make your story coherent.
What impressed me of this project was the way the audience played the Greek chorus, interacting with live Broadway actors. It felt like the ultimate evolution of what Bertolt Brecht did in theatre, breaking the fourth wall.
Who are you?
Name yourself!
I'm Jonathan David Martin, and I play Zeus.
Zeus, it is I, Coryphaeus.
Cory?
Is that really you?
My, look at you!
Your grandpa sure knew how to have a good time.
You always hope as an actor that the costume designer has provided you with an amazing costume. And this was a whole other level. The avatars are puppets. They're these digital puppets, and they don't have life until we as the puppeteers kind of give them life.
Hi, I'm Lisa Sanaya Drain. I play Hermes in Finding Pandora X.
Welcome to Olympus. Hello. Nice to see you. It's been so long. I love your outfit. Oh, and hello. You know what? I can't hear you, so you want to make sure your microphone is on.
Is there a relationship between my body and my avatar's body? I think so. It's interesting how visceral it can be, especially flying. Like, oftentimes when I land at flying, I have to close my eyes because I'll get like the woo, like I've never flown before, but that's how I imagine I would feel when I land. I think the capacity to get immersed into an object is a powerful tool in VR. I've performed a Bunraku puppet for a pretty long run and done some shows with shadow puppetry. And I think that really built up my skill set.
Well, Medusa's not here. Let's not stand around as if we've been turned to stone. Come, let's go this way.
The performers and the audience are all present inside VR and interact together.
Now, I know I have the smart group, so let's figure this out.
It's very intimate, right? Where you have these larger-than-life Broadway performers in avatars, and you are present with them in this VR world. It was different than a Broadway experience, as it felt more experimental, it felt more intimate. I love that you could be closer to the performers. Hera is played by Pamela Winslow Kashani, who is a superb actress.
Performing in VR is in many ways different from performing live, but in many other ways very similar. I loved the moment where I got to sing to the oracle.
Oh, great oracle, before you we plead, help us now, both gods and men.
I come out, I'm working with other actors who I feel I could literally touch if I needed to, and the audience was there too. So in that way, it was almost identical to performing on live stage. When we started doing Finding Pandora X, it was in the middle of the pandemic, and none of us had really been on a stage any time lately.
I just feel so empty. We're never going to find Pandora.
No, my love. Don't worry. I'll think of something.
And all of a sudden, here we are in this beautiful virtual world, and you feel like you're in the same room and you're sharing an experience in this weird, cool new way.
I remember Zeus being a little bit scary, but then again, I was 5 when I met him.
This show has been a joy and an inspiration. It's shown me that there are possibilities to do VR theater that are accessible to others. I've gotten the privilege and the honor to know an amazing cast and crew who are supportive and funny, talented, nice, smart. It's been a great training ground for this kind of work in particular. It's taken my work to another level.
Will you help us?
What do you say,
Yeah,
Chorus?
sure. Absolutely.
We'll go with Hera.
Wonderful. I don't think we ever anticipated that the audience would want to engage vocally as much as they do and have a kind of voice in the show.
Yasu.
Yasu.
And this kind of improv happens between our audience and the characters. And thank goodness our actors are so good with improv, because they really have to have this give and take between each other.
The show does have quite a complex story structure. The audience members are really integral to the way the story unfolds. They're touching things, they're moving things, they're solving things. It's unbelievably interactive.
We're networking our audiences. We're trying to synchronize all of these things in real time, live. The back-end game engine, we work with Unity, and then that is connected to VRChat, which is our social VR platform that we've built on top of. And then we built all of these unique systems to be running live cues, from lighting to visual effects to sound cues. And those are all being called by our stage manager in real time.
Who will go with Hera? And who will go with Zeus?
The branching narrative moment, I mean, I feel for our stage manager. She has to track these two worlds and hope that they land back at scene 4.
I went through the world with everyone so I could see what was going on live. I could fix problems because I was actually physically there in an avatar, being able to help audience members and of course our actors if they got stuck somewhere. You just feel way more immersed.
The entire team would get together on Discord, which was essentially our virtual backstage before every show. Everyone would sign in on their Discord with their emoji of the day, so we knew that each cast and crew member had arrived. It was just such an energetic and fun time for us all to get together before audience loaded.
To Futura City, where we would explore, I command you up here, O portal door.
A branching narrative is when an audience has a choice. In our case, it is between accompanying Zeus or accompanying Hera. And they do go into two very different story worlds.
And we would break out into our little groups and have our little puzzles that we would solve with just a small portion of the audience. And once or twice I had a one-on-one time with an audience member solving a puzzle, and it was super cool.
That whole underworld scene is actually quite a lot of fun because I get to play with the audience directly through that whole scene. I don't know what's happening next from one performance to the next.
Mortals first, of course, and maybe you could light those lights along the way.
Of course. Yeah, it's a little dark.
Yes. Excellent.
It feels like there are moments when I'm leading them, and then there are moments inevitably in every performance where the audience is leading me, and that's so satisfying and so unique.
I had a strong hand in building what was the underworld. So we had, Cerberus, the three-headed dog. And you see this, as an audience member, the sleeping Cyclops, and he suddenly comes to life. And that was me, and I came to life, and I would start basically eating people. How I did it was we created this functionality where I could look like I was literally plucking somebody from the audience. You can't actually manipulate the real users, but I was basically picking up like a dummy user. And they would start wriggling in my hand, and I'd bite their heads off, and I'd throw them at the audience, and it was absolute chaos, and it was great.
What I found as a performer is that we've created this moment between what Alyssa wrote, what the technical team has created, and then what I'm able to add to that as a performer that really captures the audience's attention. The audience is able to sort of viscerally feel what's going on, and that they are in a world that has magic that's in it.
The main themes of Finding Pandora X are hope and hope lost and how to get it back in a world that seems just entirely without hope. But it's also the idea that together, if we come together and collaborate, then we are truly capable of making a change in our world.
Our framework for Double I Studios, a lot of the work that we do is around collaborative, team-based problem solving. Being in the middle of a global pandemic as we've been building this production, we've been reminded of that theme, the loss of hope, and how we have to come together as humans to solve problems.
People are in such different places with VR. Sometimes it's their first time, and sometimes they're like, oh yeah, I got it. And I think when it's someone's first time and they're like getting the world and they're getting their avatar and they're figuring out how to do it, and they're like, oh my God, I can do this! And then slowly forget about how they're in, a virtual costume and just start hanging out with one another. I think it's really special.
Hello, welcome. I love your little avatar, it's so cute.
A really cool part about being an usher for Finding Pandora X was that I got to welcome people in from the first moment that they entered our mythical universe.
If you're ready to don your robes and join the Greek chorus, you can open your quick menu with your left hand.
I got to teach them how to use their body.
We felt that audiences were really ready to be socially connected, and even though we couldn't perform during the pandemic in the physical live world in physical theaters, we thought we could bring something that would make people feel connected in the virtual world.
Worldwide audiences were united across continents to experience the mesmerizing realms brought by Double I Studios. From Italy to Taiwan, from France to Japan, from South Korea to Canada, and from the Netherlands all the way to New Zealand.
I also really enjoyed talking with the audience after the show while we were having drinks up on the clouds of Olympus and just getting a feel for what the audience took from the show. And they just had so much joy and so much sense of adventure. It was awesome. And then we would fly around and teach them how to fly. It was fabulous.
This is really the future of live theater. I did feel like I was with actors, but it was a good feeling. It was an exciting feeling. Yeah. I felt like I was part of a bigger story. I would almost have loved to, in elementary school when I was learning about Greek theater, be able to participate in this. And so it was really quite thrilling for me. And when I took the headset off, I remember I needed a few minutes to reset because it was so intense.
What I would say to that is that this shows how sort of visionary that Kira is, because she had already started building this hybrid reality where you would have live actors together with a live audience as well as people connected anywhere around the world. So before we knew about the pandemic, before we knew that a pandemic was coming, she had already started building that type of technology and storytelling pipeline.
Over the past decade, I've had a chance to go to a lot of different film festivals, talk to immersive storytellers and artists from around the world, and I could definitely say that Kira Benzing and Double I Productions have been on the bleeding edge of setting some trends of what I see as this intersection between theater, immersive theater, and virtual reality.
I do believe that VR is the future of live theater. I do believe that one day I will be able to wear a headset in my living room and sit in an orchestra seat at Hamilton. We're not there yet, but I can see it, and I could see it inside of Pandora X.
These actors are not only hitting these story beats, but they have to facilitate these group dynamics and group discussions. It's something that is also happening in the realm of immersive theater, but this is just an opportunity to figure out how to like take people on a journey and an adventure and to have them work together as a team. And that's some of the things I'm really taking away from finding Pandora X, but also what Kira Benzing and the team at Double I Productions were able to accomplish.
One of the most exciting moments was not only premiering at the Venice International Film Festival, but also going on to win Best VR Immersive User Experience, with one of the jury members including none other than famous video game director Hideo Kojima.
We might not just be watching stories anymore, we might actually be in the stories going forward. Exciting writing these new narratives and experimenting and playing with our audiences.